this is going. Just ask for your patience until this cue is on for me. Hey, monkey. Wait until the cue. Oh boy, here comes the big monkey. Oh yeah. Hi, buddy boy. Hi, buddy boy. Yes, it's fine. And if you are with me, if this video has already started, you can come into your breath and come into your body, come into the space. Wonderful. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're on day 35, this Earth Day 2020, day 35 of our COVID yoga practice. Yogi and Yodi will be joining us today because on this wonderful Earth Day, it is raining outside here in Blueberry, BC. They promise to be very good and quiet. As I begin to warm up this practice and set up this practice, come into your breath, get your straps, get your blocks, get your blanket as you may need. We are going to be doing a classic yin today, a little bit of warm up in the beginning, but then really focusing on holding positions and up to 5 minutes today. So if this is your first yin class with me, I suggest you might want to go back to the initial classes if you are here and still would like a class. Otherwise, if this is a recording, there are several earlier videos. Otherwise, welcome everybody. Come into your breath, come into a comfortable seated position, however that may be for you. I'm going to be sitting in the dog position. Allow your eyes to close, allow your breath to deepen, focus on your diaphragm primarily, and by virtue of your focus being there, everything else falls away. As you continue to breathe, feel the diaphragm expanding, shoulders always staying down with every breath, lengthening your spine. And relaxing, finding the 3 parts now, feeling the balloon in your belly, the balloon in your lungs, and the whole upper echelons of the face, the whole higher strata of being, or at least we think is in this sensory realm. Continuing to breathe that 3-part breath. And naturally let the wave ascend both front and back, focusing on the spine lengthening, creating space, focusing on the belly and the internal. Your proprioceptive sense now is challenged, not only to feel your body within space, but to feel that intraception. And follow your breath, come into your rhythm. If you'd like to set an intention for yourself, you may do so now. If you find your mind wandering during the practice, come back to your breath, come back to your intention, come back to your body. You can also begin the Ujjayi breathing technique throughout the practice, whether we are moving in asana or not. You are contracting the glottis and the throat, that almost fogging a glass sound, and of course the mouth is closed. When you're ready, you can begin or continue. I will demonstrate. You may or may not be able to hear me. It's a pacifying breath, a soothing breath, and it allows the internal rhythms to start to beat a little louder and allow the vibration to resonate a little bit longer. When you're ready, on your next inhale, bring the arms off of the knees and combine a bit of movement with our breath. So inhale, arms up, shoulders down, eyes of the elbows open. tips of the fingers touching, and once they do, change the direction of your palms coming down. Every breath becomes a little bit more slow. Inhaling up. Every movement becomes a little bit more intentional, touching the tips of the fingers and coming down. Last breath, all the way up. And exhale. Coming down just halfway, and once you're there, let's turn the arms so the palms are facing upward, eyes of the elbows facing upward, shoulders dripping down, melting down the spine. Feel the challenge that gravity is presenting to you, and observe what you are doing in response. Just observe, without judgment, without expectation. Breathe through any physical discomfort or sensation. And if at any time, of course, you feel pain or discomfort, come out of the pose. But when you're ready, let's stretch out the neck. So left fingertips to the outside of the right temple, right palms facing downward, tenting or flattening the palm, and tilting the chin down, nodding yes. 2 or 3 times, nice and slowly. And on your last one, as you're down, releasing the hand downward and looking over to the side towards the armpit, leading with the chin and exhaling down. So again, leading with the chin, looking towards the armpit. We're not quite doing semicircles yet. Exhale, looking down. Just a slight movement. Inhale, looking over towards the armpit. And exhaling down. On your next inhale, arms and head lift. Out to the side. Find that T-shaped position again. We'll hold just for a point of transition. Shoulders down. And when you're ready, bending the right elbow, right fingers to the outside of the temple, left palm facing downward, finding the floor either with the fingertips, tenting the hand, flattening the palm. And once you find your position of comfort, bring the chin into the chest, nodding yes, that mantra of positivity and of action. Moving forward every moment, progressing, developing, discovering. What else is there to do? Follow your breath. Remember the balloon in your belly, the barrel in your rib cage, the clavicular regions. Inhaling up. And again, dropping the arm. And let's look down towards the armpit, leading with the chin. So making sure it's not just the eyes, it's the whole face and head that's turning. And exhaling back down. And again, looking towards the armpit. We're not quite gliding the whole chin along the chest as we do in semicircle, but we are stretching out all those fine, intricate muscles in the back of the neck, the back of the skull. And exhaling, coming back down to center. Keep the head down. As we inhale, arms up only, continuing to bend the elbows, interlace the fingers behind the head, bring the elbows together, and exhale, chin down to the chest. This time we are going to roll down with as many lumbar regions as possible. So starting with the upper region, and those top 7
vertebrae very easily coming down. Now, if you're comfortable, keep rolling in. Get the thoracic spine. And you can even dip into the lumbar regions. Coming all the way down as far as you're comfortable. And when you're ready, very gently rolling up, vertebrae by vertebrae. The chin is the last thing to come up. Once your chin is up, open the elbows. Feel the shift in your awareness with such subtle yet powerful movements. Inhaling, arms out to the side. Cactus arms, slight back bend just as a counteraction to that forward pose. And bring the arms now up into a bit of a picture frame. So interlocking the elbows together and really just wiggle through, making sure the shoulders stay down. Lifting nice and high. And then let's release the right fingertips and pressing just the elbow down. So feeling a nice strong stretch in the bicep through the armpit. Continuing to breathe very deeply. Same thing on the opposite side. So switching arms, grab the elbow. Keep your chin tucked into the chest, lengthening the back of the neck. Bring the arms up again to that picture frame position and just put a slight side bend, really only bending that thoracic spine now. And inhaling up. So just kind of that mid spinal column. Shoulders are always moving down away from the ears. And inhaling up. Open both arms out to the side and sweep them forward. Let's have the right hand on the outside of the left arm. You may recognize several of these. Turning to the opposite side. These are some basic sporty kind of warm-ups. But since we're going into some deep yin today, I thought we'd start by really putting some focus on the shoulders. And inhale, arms out to the side. Same thing to the other side. So now left hand to the outer elbow. Pushing back and turning in the opposite direction. Make sure you're not too stiff here. Make sure you're still able to kind of bounce through everything. And release, arms out to the side, palms facing upwards. Exhale, palms facing down. Interlace the fingers. Inhaling, lift the arms, lengthen the biceps, press the shoulders down. Breathing, lengthening the spine. Feel the balloon in your belly, the barrel in your ribs. That power, that ascension, that lightness, lifting your upper torso. And when you're ready, exhale, forward fold. Trying to bring the head down to the ground. Once you find your edge, let the neck relax by bringing the chin to the chest and hold for 5 deep breaths. 4. 3. Keep lifting. 2. Change the direction of your hands if you'd like to stretch out the wrists and the palms. 1 more breath here. And when you're ready, exhale, or rather inhale, shifting the weight, coming back, releasing the hands, removing the puppy. And we're going to open the legs, allow the hands to come back behind you, facing towards the feet, 6 to 8 inches away from you. Push the shoulders down, open the legs, bending the knees, feet flat, facing forward. We're going to come into a reverse tabletop, and we're going to do a few different movements here, but just as a stage one, if this is where you are comfortable. Actually, this is a beautiful stage one. Push into the palms. Feel that first knuckle. Feel the femurs lining up, feet flat. Imagine, in honor of Earth Day, of course, all the beautiful trees in the spring, the beautiful vegetation and green coming back into the many parts of the world anyways. Imagine you have roots growing from your feet, your soles, and your palms. And visualize those roots grounding into the earth. As you do so, let's prepare to lift. So pushing into the soles and palms, inhaling, lift. Keep the chin into the chest. Lift your bum. Nice and long in the front body. Keep the shoulders moving down away from the ears. Feel the weight in that first knuckle in your palms. Don't lose the weight. And exhale down. Feel the shift nice and slowly as you lower. Very good. And let's just tuck the body in for a nice quick reverse pose. And you can even just give a little bit of a rock back onto the sacrum, side to side, whatever you may feel. We're going to do the same thing again. So when you're ready, planting the feet, planting the palms, a little bit longer, a little bit deeper, and a little bit more intense this time when you're ready. Inhaling, lift. Keep breathing throughout your pose. And now as a stage two, if you're comfortable, just slightly lean forward, stretching out the wrists, and also starting to stretch out the toes and the soles. So eventually kind of hanging just around on your fingers and your toes, really. That's what's touching the ground, if you're comfortable. Otherwise, staying just at a bit of a bent knee, lowered hips position. Otherwise, staying in our strengthening position. Otherwise, just finding that grounding. Wherever you are, let's come down, finding your counter pose. And you may feel a little bit of cracking, popping, movement in your lower spine. No judgment and no expectation. Just observe. Rocking side to side, up and down, making small or medium large circles, or just finding stillness. We're going to do the same thing one more time. And if you do have serious wrist issues, or if you feel a third time is just not accessible, come down onto your forearms and you can do the same thing. You can also kind of feel that same movement and get a nice deep shoulder stretch. When you're ready, planting the soles, planting the palms, and inhaling, lift, chin into the chest, and focus on your breath. We want to push a little bit deeper, almost as though we're going into a chakrasana, back bend, of course not with these arm position, but really over-exaggerating the bend in the lower back. Really opening the front side of the body. And when you're ready, very gently coming down, feel the shift in your circulation. Come on to your bottom, lengthen your legs, and Paschimottanasana. We are going to stay here for 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So mentally and physically prepare yourself. You want your femurs to be flat. That means your bum is balanced. Do not crank one buttock and then the next buttock. Rather, lift yourself up so daintily and lightly. You can roll the heels, femurs around for a bit. And once the toes are together, the femurs should be open. And exhale, find the pelvic floor and find your edge. We are going to hold this for 5 minutes from this point. So inhaling, arms up, shoulders down, and exhale, forward fold. Now, if you're comfortable just here and your head feels a little bit loose, use a block, use a bolster, have a pillow under your belly. Otherwise, find your position of comfort and breathe. This is one of the top positions in yoga, in Hatha, Ashtanga, Yin, Raja. All of the different streams of yoga will have, or actually any type of physical practice and any type of spiritual practice. It is maybe the one physical position that unites all culture, spiritual, religious celebration, along with exercise, of course, the celebration of the body. The sense of prostration allows for a open mind of surrender, of acceptance. It's just over 1 minute. We're going to hold for a total of 5 minutes. So we should be at our edge. It means find the place where you can bend no more and stay there. Let your body completely relax into the pose. And focus on your breath. Feel the wave through your back. The secret to Yin is time, stillness, and your edge. Those three things together will deepen your practice, open your fascia, and release all of the life stress, not just the daily things that have happened, but deep ingrained patterns of stress that you may have built up, or that your samskaras, the patterns of your lifetimes, according to yoga tradition, or simply your DNA, the habits of our ancestors, the routines, the systems with which we have all so complacently succumbed, which are now, of course, in flux and under scrutiny for revision and revival of other types of practices. That's 3.5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. You should be feeling a very subtle energy moving through the body, that deep pranic force and the yoga tradition level. As well, chemically speaking, hyaluronic acid is being released from the joints. If at any time, of course, you need to adjust, do feel free to do so. If you need to wiggle a little bit deeper into the pose, be free and comfortable, but try to find stillness. Our body needs that counteraction for all of the very fast-paced events that are happening around us. With or without COVID, the world has been a very fast-moving place for a very long time.
And it is quite ironic that the most microscopic of bacterial forms is in some ways, again, united with the macrocosmic endeavors of the multiversi, not one single universe, but the multiversi. And the two are bringing balance back to each other. It's quite exceptional if you think about it. That is 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Very slowly, you'll feel your body has aged about 100 years. That's very natural. Very slowly, let your head hang down. The last thing to come up is your head. So curling the spine, curling the tailbone under. And vertebrae by vertebrae, stacking each one up. And come back if you feel that there's a lock or if there's a bit of a difficulty in the smoothness of your movement. Last thing that comes up is the head, shoulders dropping down. And that needs a counter pose. So, Madame Yukiko, get your block or your book or what you are using. We are going to come into a back bend. Now, if you do want to have support for your head, keep one ready. By this time, you may have also set up something around your house. You can use the wall if you've possibly built up some blocks right around here, and then using the wall as a bit of a crux so you're not dropping it down so low. Now here, I'm going to let you decide where you really need the block. For me, I've been hunched at a computer all day, so it's going between my shoulders. Others who have had other days, you can put it as you like. Same with the legs. If you'd like your knees bent, if you'd like them in a konasana, butterfly position, which is what we're going to do next, so you may want to put them there, or you may want to have them straight or even straddled out a little bit. I'm going to put the soles of my feet together in a konasana position, making my adjustment by simply putting that measurement where my chest starts to open. That's where I'll start to put the block, so right at the heel of my hands, and slowly walking myself back. And again, we will hold this for another 5 minutes. So again, preparing yourself mentally and physically for such an extended position from this moment, 5 minutes. And here, just let the body melt. Keeping the arms up until you find that you're in a position where you can really let go. And once you're ready, let the arms out to the side. And hold here for 5. I'm going to let us focus on our breath. And I'm not going to talk too much. Just feel the gravity opening the front body, opening the back body. Bring the balloon into your belly, the barrel into your ribs, and relax.
Letting the body completely hang here. That's 2.5 minutes, so half of the time has passed. Feel the deepening of your practice. Feel the lengthening of your spine. And if at any time you wish to come out, feel free and comfortable to do so. Continuing to hold here. For another few breaths, that's 4.5 minutes. So when we get ready to come up, we have to be very gentle with our neck. We want to bring in support from our hands, just as we did in the beginning by interlacing our fingers behind our head. We're going to do the same thing. So bending the elbows, bringing the hands in, interlace the fingers behind the head, bring the elbows together. Feel that increased pressure in your back if you've got the block between the shoulders. Just do a couple little movements here, not really sit-ups, kind of some chin-ups or chin backs or kind of elbow movements. Just feel, you might even be right on a intersecting point between the vertebrae. Just feel that massage. You can even open the arms up a little bit if you want to get a bit of a deeper stretch across the chest, through the armpits. And of course, that's our lymphatic system. And if you're like everybody else, you've probably been wearing much less deodorant these days, which is a very, very good thing. Use apple cider vinegar in the morning if you're noticing any stench. No deodorant, leave that away. And let all of that drainage return. Let those pores open once again. And when you're ready, let's inhaling up, coming out of the pose. So releasing the arms back down. And we're going to walk the hands forward and directly into a forward bend. So my legs, you can leave your legs as they are. I'm in Konasana. So exhale, coming down. We're not going to hold for 5, but we're still going to hold this for probably 2 minutes. So allowing your body to really melt and breathe. Your breath will tell you where you are having some openness and where you are having tightness. Continue to lengthen the spine, leaving space between the shoulders and the ears always. If you'd like to deepen this pose, you can bring your arms underneath, palms flat on the ground, and just start to deepen. This will also help to bring your spine and the ribs open a little bit more. This will also really help to open the hips and the shoulders. If you're really good, you can start to put your arms behind your body and interlacing with fingers together using a strap, or just kind of resting them, coming into a true Yoga Padmasana asana meditation pose. That's 1.5 minutes here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll hold for another few breaths. And when you're ready, whichever position you may find yourself in, release. And very slowly curling the back up, vertebrae by vertebrae, let your body come back up to a regular seated position. The chin and the shoulders are the last thing to come up. So lifting, bring the knees together, hang on to the knees. You might want to interlace the fingers here too. And lean back. Gentle with the neck. You don't want to press it down all the way, but you really want to get a sense of openness in the chest. Removing the block if it's still near you. And let's find a Navasana. So that's the boat position. We were here for just a moment earlier, but now we'll hold it for a little bit longer. And Navasana, basically this, there's so many positions. Now, let's just, again, kind of open and close, rolling along the sacrum and opening the shoulders and the hips while you do so. So inhale and exhale nice and slowly. And once you've lengthened once again, just rock side to side here or up and down, making small circles. You may not be able to control it too much if your muscles are not so built up, but just start to feel where you are holding any tension or tightness. We've got muscles there that we, kind of have a difficulty getting into, but they are taking a lot of tension, holding up the entire body. When you're ready, let's exhale, coming down. So we're going to come down flat onto our back. Stay rolled up into a little ball. So coming down. And again, just get a little bit more of that rolling sensation along here. And if you're able to come up into the shoulder, roll nice and slowly up there as well. Otherwise, when you're ready, we're going to come onto our backs and two-leg raise position. Now, you're welcome to use the wall here. If you would prefer to have some support on the wall, you're welcome to use a strap. I may use a strap. I may use my hands. We're going to come into a straddle. So, as we inhale, lifting the legs, and we're just going to exhale and open them. And we are going to hold this probably for about 3 minutes. Okay, so find your place of comfort. Use your straps. I'm going to try and lock in with my 2 fingers around my big toe. And we're going to hold this, as I said, for about 3 minutes. So while you're here, wherever you may find yourself in this position, feel the spine lengthening. Feel the eyes of the elbows opening, whether your hands are connected or whether they are out in a T-shaped position by your side.
Feel the backs of the knees opening. We are relaxed but active. The heels moving away from us, toes moving towards the head. And inch or millimeter yourself, if you will, deeper into your position as your body allows. Once your body introduces availability, take it. It may not be there again. Continuing to breathe very deeply. That's about 1 minute. We'll hold for another minute at least, a little bit longer. Again, remembering the 3 tenets of yoga: time and stillness along your edge. While you may need to wiggle a little bit deeper to reclaim that territorial body that has been sacrificed essentially to the stresses of life, take that space back and release whatever has happened. Let it go with your exhale. Exhale it back into the ether and let it float up from whence it came. On your next breath here, we're going to come into a halasana position. So I'm moving just for demonstrations purposes. If you're against the wall, you can still start to come into halasana. And if you're not comfortable coming into a plow, you can put a block underneath your hips, and that'll start to at least angle your lower body backwards. So if this is where you are, this is a beautiful place to be. I may actually stay. Otherwise, let's exhale completely, dropping the feet down wherever they are comfortable, behind the head. And we are going to hold this again for 3 minutes. When you are ready, continuing to breathe. Your hands can be by your side. They can be creating a bit of a foundation to give a deeper angle to your position. They can also come to touch your toes, possibly. Wherever you find yourself, just relax. You can also come into a bit of a deeper position by bending your knees. That's about halfway, 90 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Completely release any tension you may feel. You might also want to come into Kichari Mudra,
which is the tip of the tongue behind the top of the back of the teeth, and go back, find that soft spot, that soft palate, and push into that space. Relax your legs, relax your back. Breathe very deeply. Do not sacrifice the balloon in your belly. And when you are ready, wherever you may be, we're going to come into a Sarvangasana shoulder stand or an inversion. It doesn't have to be a deep Jalanda Bandha activation. We can unravel a little bit and simply bend the arms in, allowing the hands to come to the back body, thumbs to the waist. And one by one, you can just start to lift. And if it's not comfortable to do both, don't do both. What we're doing here is we're just getting some drainage, circulation drainage, so you can do one at a time if it's a little bit too heavy or uncomfortable. And if you are up against the wall, again, you can have a block. Bring both, of course, if you do feel that you're able. And if you are up against the wall, you've got the block under you already. So what I'd like you to do now is just to bend your knees and push against the wall. And that'll give you that bit of an arch in your back. Okay, so if you are up against the wall, everyone else, you can stay as you are. Or continue to be where you are. But if you're up there already, you've got your straddle, you've got your block, whatever position you may have taken. Well, now we're simply going to bring the feet into the mat, into the wall, and start to push up. So you're getting that same benefit, but you're not having to contend with the balancing, with the full weight of the body. And also that is a position that does take a little bit of practice just to be inverted. Wonderful. Holding this for another few breaths. Feeling the lightness coming to the lower body. And until we felt the lightness, we didn't realize how heavy the feet and the legs have been. Sitting all day, all their lives, just hanging on the floor. All that pressure downward, that exertion, force, descending. Let the legs feel what it's like to be on top. Let the feet climb and feel that sensation. Pay attention to the lightness. And the bottom of the feet are strong indicators of pranic energy in the body. So do try to tap into that. Do you feel heat or coolness? Do you feel any tingling sensation or electricity? Some people feel a bit of a wind or a movement. Wherever you are, when you're ready, let's begin to come out of the pose. So releasing your hands, starting to bring the legs back down behind the head or down the wall, and very slowly unraveling the spine. Do this very slow, vertebrae by vertebrae. Feel each muscle as it contacts the ground, and just explore all of the space. And if you feel you need to come back and give it one more little roll, feel free, feel comfortable. And once you are back in a two-leg raised position, just allow the legs to put complete pressure on the lower spine, and you may even want to bring them down a little bit further. Just trying to get that full sense of pressure along the entire spine. Once you're down about here, let's bend the knees, bring the feet to the outside edges of the mat. And by doing so, the coccyx and the rest of the spine will kind of lower down. And then arms out to the side, let the knees flail down, windshield wiper movement. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down, and focusing on the massage in your lower back. You can look in the opposite direction, feel the massage, also in the shoulders as you begin to put a bit of twist and pressure. On your next inhale, we'll just put a little bit of stretch back into the legs. So left leg folded over the right knee. You can hold it here if you're comfortable. You can extend the left palm to touch the left knee or thigh, wherever your hand may be. Now you may need your strap here as well. So keep that tucked in nice and tight. And we're going to inhale, lift the opposite leg. You can grab on if you're comfortable. Otherwise, using a strap or a blanket might be a little bit more relaxing. We don't want to put any tension. And even if the leg exceeds or does not meet 90 degrees, that's fine. Just play with that space. Sort of rocking up and down, back and forth, getting a little bit of a back massage in here as well, not as deep as with Halasana, of course. Or you may want to, actually. You may want to come all the way, and if you do, well, try to come all the way back into Ardha Padmasana Halasana. And you may even want to come all the way forward to a Paschimottanasana. We're looking at targeting the hamstring, the hips, wherever you find yourself. On your next exhale, let's switch legs. So bringing the, in my case, right foot over the left, and just hold this position here. Again, you can use your right hand to push on the right knee.
Relax the shoulders, relax your breath. Feel the balloon in your belly. And when you're ready, or if you want, you may choose stillness, put a little bit of movement. Getting that full spinal extension. And just listening to the body again. We don't have to be completely symmetrical in our practice, but we do have to observe where we find remaining places of tension and tightness after such a deep practice, because the body will tell you. You just have to listen. On your next exhale, release and let the strap go. Bring the legs down into Shavasana. Allowing the arms to be palms up a few inches away from the body, fingers starting to roll inward. Legs are a few inches away from each other. Close your eyes. Shavasana means corpse. We are essentially emulating a dead body here, so you are motionless. Relax your feet. Relax your hands. And as you inhale very deeply, visualize a bright white light. Inhaling from the top of your head and cascading down, drawing with it the ambrosia, the nectar of life that we have created during this practice. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana, feel welcome. Otherwise, when you're ready, keep the eyes closed, mind open, heart soft, breath deep, body relaxed. Very gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, allowing the head to turn to the right and to the left. Inhaling, arms overhead, interlace the fingers and fold to the right, to the left. Inhale, knees up and rocking side to side, up and down, small circles, or finding stillness. When you are ready, allow the legs to come down to the right side. Use your right bicep as a pillow in its original yoga position, the fetal position. Take a moment to send your love to those who have helped you come here. Take a moment to send your love to those who need you. Take a moment to allow a smile to come across the face, releasing endorphins from the practice, continuing to be an amazing, wonderful, gentle, kind, loving human being that you are. And when you are ready, very gently, in your own time, coming up into a comfortably seated position. Take a moment to feel the effects of the practice. And as is traditional, to close. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Atma Namaste. Ah, you're so cute. And you are all so cute as well. And we remind you, you are not the body. You are not the mind. You are not the emotions. You are the breath. You are the eternal. You are what is, was, and always will be.